Welcome to the podcast where we talk about podcast. Go.
The podcast that I usually like to listen to is definitely the Shane Dawson one.
Why do you like the Shane Dawson one?
Fuck you. I think he's funny, and that's the only podcast that I listen to, and I'm like, yeah.
I mean, he's kind of trash, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. He's like, if you've ever watched that, if you ever listened to that podcast, it's actually really fucking good because it's really funny.
It's not really that funny. I mean, you know, it's kind of subjective. He really doesn't do a lot of research on his topics, and he just kind of makes this really long video just so he can have a bunch of ad revenue throughout it. Did you know that?
Not his videos, his podcasts. They're different.
He has a podcast?
That's why I was talking about podcasts.
Oh, shit.
And I said,
oh man, no, that's my bad.
oh yeah, this is gonna turn into like an ASMR type shit. the one he's like, this me unfolding my Bible.
Church ASMR. This is me putting on my cry robe. This is me warming up my voice for gospel. Yes, this is me ruffling up my papers, getting ready to sing from the gospel. Getting ready to sing those church hymns, if you know what I'm talking about. I know she knows what I'm talking about, yeah. Now let me just ease into your mind. I bet you'll never be able to guess what this is. That's right. It's the cross.
It's still going.
It's not. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not. I mean, it's still pretty going. How do I go on? Expand? Ah, there you go. Okay. Yeah. Cool. It's still going. It's a podcast.
Still going. Oh yeah. Okay.
You know, like we have to talk about stuff for like a cool, like a while. Or like,
what's hip?
It's only been like 2 minutes. You can't have a 2-minute podcast. Has to at least be a 10-minute podcast.
Spare Gucci.
Spare Gucci.
Nobody would ever listen to this.
This is my new podcast where I just invite people over into my house. That's probably why nobody can fucking hear anything, because the mic was upside down the whole time. We're
really?
Dumb. Oh,
there's a upside down. Wait.
That's the back. This is the front.
Oh.
This is my podcast where I just invite random people over to my house and we just talk about random stuff. Yeah, there it is. Me and David can finally have our podcast. Cool.
You're gonna listen to this recording and you're gonna be like, wow.
I'm gonna upload it.
I sound so gay.
You sound pretty good, dude. I mean, it's not that bad.
Mic. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's a really good mic. Oh, I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So
like,
what's some current events happening?
Some current events, you know, Trump's still president.
That's
yeah, no. Seriously. Trump's still president. Yeah, it's a current event. He didn't get fired.
Impeached.
Fired, impeached. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Vanessa, get in this podcast.
We're
get in
making
this
a
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, what up? It's my sister. What up, Vanessa? Say something.
Hey.
Say something.
Hi. What is
Yeah.
this?
It's just a podcast. That's it.
Oh, hey, everyone listening.
What? Like, say some current events.
Yeah,
You're the political
Some
one in
current
our family.
events.
You're the political one in our family.
I don't. Okay.
Who's running for president?
Well, you know, there's lots of potential candidates for 2020. Personally, I'm rooting for Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders.
Why Elizabeth Warren?
Well, I like her policies and I like what she has to say about student loan debt, which is very
That's a really good one.
relevant to me.
I'm
Yeah.
bro.
So, yeah, I like what she has to say about that. I like what she has to say about environmental issues and environmental policy. You know, getting big business out of ruining our environment. whatnot. And I like Bernie Sanders too, and I'm a socialist, so he's our guy as well. I just think that I don't know. The Bernie fan base is not my favorite. Like sometimes
they're pretty cancer.
Like,
I they are terrible. Oh my god.
But I like Bernie. I like his policies.
No, he's a really good. He's a cool guy.
I think a lot of people will get behind him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Peace out. Yeah, I know.
Should I close this?
No, you're fine. Leave it open. Like, what are we calling this thing? I don't know. That's not my trash. It's my trash. I don't know what to call this thing.
Are there actual people listening?
No, there's no one actually listening. Like it's. Did you think? No. How do you think podcasts work? Podcasts.
I know that's how it
Podcasts
works, but
are a recorded thing.
I saw you on the thing.
Oh no. That's that. I don't know why that's open. That literally randomly just popped up. Mom, come here. Get in this podcast. Come here. Get in this podcast. She ain't getting in the podcast. Ain't nobody really in this podcast though. I don't know what to call this thing. I'm actually about to make this a thing. I swear.
We're talking about nothing right now.
That's the whole point. Anybody will listen to a podcast for no reason.
Nobody.
Everybody will listen to a podcast for no reason.
Nobody will listen.
Everybody will listen to a podcast. I will get one.
Nobody's gonna listen.
I'm gonna get one listener. I will get one listener in my thing. I bet you $5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a shot? Is that?
The full thing.
Whole thing.
The full thing. Not you listening.
It won't be me listening to it. Like, no, I can promise not. David's a person, so.
No.
That counts.
No.
That counts.
I'm giving you $5.
Sorry you shook on it, so.
So they couldn't even see what happened.
That's because I'm not filming. It's a process. It's a process. First, we gotta get the recorded version, and this is the pilot. It's a pilot, and then after the pilot gets 2 viewers.
We're talking about nothing. A pilot about nothing.
Exactly. That's what a pilot is. A pilot doesn't do anything.
Pilot does everything.
A pilot just shows off characters.
The pilot is the hook.
The pilot.
The hook of the paper.
The pilot just shows off characters.
The
pilot
paper.
just shows off characters. It just shows off characters.
You're just repeating.
And then, after that, then people are like, "Oh, I like those characters."
No.
And then you get
Never once have I watched a pilot and was like, "Oh, yeah, those characters, those are great." No, I look at it and I'm like, does the plot make sense? Yeah. If it's a plot about one thing, those shows that are just like, "Oh, it's about this." Like Jane the Virgin. It's just about her being a virgin.
She gets pregnant, right?
I watched the whole thing. I watched up until season 6.
I've never watched that show once in my life. I've seen promos, and that's as far as I know about the story.
What happened was she got artificially inseminated, but she was a virgin.
How did she get artificially?
The doctor messed up.
Oh.
The doctor was all like, you're coming in for just a pap test. And then she did the pap test to the lady that was getting the artificial insemination. And then she got the artificial insemination instead of the pap test. Yeah, that's how that worked. They can't even hear. But 10 out of 10, Jane the Virgin is actually a really good TV show.
Jane the Virgin's really not that best of a TV show.
Jane the Virgin was amazing, and I would love to watch it for the rest of my life.
No. You can't watch that for the rest of your life. That's rude. Look, it's 9/11. Ooh. Rest in peace, those firefighters. So they're really brave about that. That took a lot of hard work.
Bush did 9/11.
We all know Bush did 9/11. That's a given. We all know the government had a hand in 9/11. That's just a given. I'm honest. In all honesty.
Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
What else do you have to say about 9/11?
Rest in peace.
Thank you. Rest in peace, those dear people and their families.
Now, this is a conspiracy thing. Firmly believe the government the government did everything. They killed Martin Luther King Jr., John F. Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe. Who else? Abraham Lincoln. Prince. Michael Jackson. Chris Cornell. All these people. The government killed them all. Anarchy.
If you get me shot because of this podcast, I swear. If I get killed by a government agent because of you, I'm gonna die. And then I'm gonna kill you. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna bring my setup in the library during like a school day where I'm not doing anything and just sit down and be like, who wants to get in the podcast? Who wants to get in this podcast?
Nobody's gonna want to get in their podcast.
I'm gonna call it the conspiracy corner. Now, like I'm gonna be conspiracy corner mirrors. Everybody's gonna be in this podcast. We're gonna be doing homework. We're gonna be talking about how bad school is, but we still gotta go. Yeah, no. All right, yeah. I don't know how to end this thing.
Skip class. Eat ass.
Yeah, that's it. All right.